everybody, good afternoon, happy Friday. Thanks for tuning in. My name is Brendan Smith with Batdorf and Bronson Coffee Roasters. Welcome to Coffee Talk. Today we're just going to brew a little bit of coffee. I've got on deck our organic French roast. This is 100% certified organic shade-grown coffee. Notes of chocolate, sugar, and burnt caramel. It's really, really delicious. Shout out if you've had this one before. It's awesome. And I thought we would do just a little bit of kind of brewing technique. I brought along my newly revised Chemex recipe. Screenshot that if you want to. Hey Eric, thanks for tuning in. Always appreciate seeing you. So I thought we would just brew a little coffee today because you know what? Sometimes Friday after work, I need a cup of coffee. You need a cup of coffee, I need a cup of coffee, and our organic French roast is a really, really good choice. As many of you, well, some of you know, I like our lighter roasted coffees a lot, and it's what I drink most of the time. But our French roast, being one of our darker roast coffees, to me, is just a really great coffee to have in a Chemex. Because the Chemex really gives a nice, clean, tasty, clear version of this coffee. And it's such a nice coffee. It's actually, even though it's a darker roasted coffee, something some people don't realize is it's actually a really delicate coffee. It's very subtle. It's got a little bit of sweetness to it. So today, I'm going to attempt to give you the top-down view. So let's see. How about that? All right, we're going to do a little handheld action. Show you the whole brewing setup. We'll see how that works. But I brought along a Baratza Encore grinder. Got my Airscape container for my coffee. I've got my Chemex. I've got my scale. I've got everything that I need to brew. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the other part of the grinder because apparently I left it over there. All right, so there we go. You guys get that lovely view. So let me see if I can just set this where you can just see what I want you to see. And I can leave it alone. Okay, I think that's pretty good. So there's a little bit of a delay when I use this camera. So if my voice and my actions don't line up perfectly, apologize. I like to use the lid from the Encore grinder to weigh my beans out. You can use the container, but I like to use the lid. I find it's easier. So that's just my little pro tip for the Encore. Also always nice to have a little brush around, keep things neat. So for this recipe, I'm going to use 25 grams of coffee. So there we go, 25. Let's put a little of this coffee out for you to see. So French roast is traditionally a pretty dark roast. This is an organic shade-grown coffee. We use a Guatemala for the organic French roast currently. And it's just a lovely coffee. It's really nice roasted lighter. And it's really nice when we roast it darker and take on some of those toasty notes, right? Notes like chocolate, sugar, burnt caramel, such a nice description. For me, it's when you become an adult and you start to realize that things that develop a little color, roasted vegetables, things like that, are delicious. It's the best way to have. I roasted some carrots for my wife the other day, and I let them go a little further than I normally would. and she said they were the best carrots I'd ever made. So sometimes a little roasty toasty can be done really, really well, and we do it deliberately, not accidentally, because we're looking for that really good roast profile. By the way, little sneak preview, I'm working on a little project for you guys. I have in my hands some samples that are pulled from our roast process. And you can see this is from a single roast, the different sort of stages of development. So that's all I'm going to tell you for now, but keep on the lookout. We're going to do a really fun video around roasting very soon. So let's get back down here to this view. We also have that view as well. So maybe we'll do a little bit of both. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my hot water, which is ready to go. By the way, if you need any of these tools, we have them all available on our website. Fun Batdorf sticker not included, but, you know, let me know. I can get you a sticker. I know people. All right, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open up my filter. You'll notice if you use the Chemex that there are 4 different leaves here. You want 3 leaves in the front, 1 leaf in the back. So just open it like a pocket, drop it right down in there. The 3 leaves go towards the spout, and that's kind of to give a little bit more stability there when you're pouring. Okay, so now we're gonna set our grinder. For this Baratza grinder, I've got mine set at about 19 or 20. This is the Baratza Encore. You can get that on our website. So all I'm going to do, let's take you up with me. I'm going to just drop the coffee in, put the lid on, turn the switch. So while that's grinding, I've got my Chemex in my filter. I'm going to throw it on the scale. I want to go ahead and hit the tare button on the scale. When you hear the grinder start to change pitch, you know it's done and you can turn it off. Hey Scott, thanks for tuning in. So appreciate you, Scott. Good guy, that's Scott. All right, so I'm going to have to hold it to give you that top-down view. But you know what? I love you guys, so I'm willing to do whatever I need to do. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and rinse. And I like to use a good amount of rinse water because I really want to not only rinse the filter, but more importantly, it rinses the filter, it kind of seats the filter, but it also preheats that vessel. And if this is hot, then all the hot water that you pour on the coffee can do its job of extracting coffee. If this is cold, then this takes the heat before the coffee really does. I'm going to dump this because I'm not super cool. You guys want to see the back counter? I'll show you real quick. Hang on. It's my espresso machine. We got our brewers. Got some coffee here. Grinder. Fun mural. Got our little welcome area. All kinds of fun stuff. My little video production zone. All right, that was fun. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my ground coffee. I'm going to hit tare because I want it to say 0. I'm going to pour that in there. And 24, looks like I lost a little bit in there. That can happen. As long as it's close, it'll be okay. Beautiful thing is you can just pour a little less water in. So now I'm going to hit tare again. I'm going to start to pour. So what I want to do here is I want to pour 2 to 3 times the throw weight. So however much coffee you have in here, you want 2 or 3 times as much. So I went a little high there. I'm going to take my little stirring paddle, give it a stir, because I just want to make sure that all the coffee and all the water get to hang out together. Because they're friends. Why shouldn't they hang out together? Am I right? Or am I right? Okay. All right, so I give that about 30 seconds. Now, I'm going to keep pouring. This time I'm going to pour up to 300. I like to pour in concentric circles. And once everything's wet, I just look for the dark spots. Anything that hasn't gotten really enough water. Once I get to about 300, I'm going to take the whole thing and just give it a little swirl. And that's really just to mix everything together. Okay? All right, so while that's swirling around, organic French roast, if you don't have it, you should try it. It's a really good evening coffee. Let me switch you over to this camera here. I'm going to take you on a little journey. Let's see what we have. Ah, that's the stuff. So one of my favorite uses for French roast is that it goes great with sweet things. So, pardon the camera situation there. All right. So now we've got this drained down. We could have poured a little sooner. Just as soon as you can see the coffee, you can keep pouring. So I'm going to pour up to about 400. And then I like to give it a little, just a little scrape on the edges just to make sure there's nothing clinging to the edge. You don't want a lot of that. And I'm going to let it drain. So while that drains down, like I said, I like something sweet in the evenings. And French roast in Chemex is just a clean, toasty, delicious coffee. I had it this morning, actually. And it was lovely. I didn't need cream, I didn't need sugar, but it holds up really well to cream and sugar. So we're going to go with, that's my handwritten recipe. Second chance to screenshot if you want. I've done many a recipe for Chemex over the years. The goal is we should get something that looks pretty nice and flat. You see how nice and even that is? That leads to our understanding that the coffee was extracted fairly evenly. Now I'm just gonna remove my filter into something here. How about this? I'm gonna remove my filter. I'm gonna grab a cup. I'm gonna give it a swirl. I like to only pour a little coffee at a time because then I can drink it right away. Oh yeah. It's toasty, but it's smooth. Finishes nice and clean. It's really good. Everyone loves this. It's my parents' favorite coffee. It's lots of people's favorite coffee. It's a really good coffee. So if you like a coffee that tastes like coffee, but you don't want it to taste bitter in a negative way, you don't want it to be astringent, you don't want it to leave your mouth kind of cottony, try the organic French roast. Shade grown. We do right by our farmers. We do right by you. If you really want to level it up, I mean, a little vanilla ice cream never hurt anyone. This is a great one. We did our affogatos a couple weeks ago. This has that presence that espresso has. It may not have the same viscosity, but it's got a lot of presence to it. So for me, this is going to hold up nicely with a sweet treat. It's an awesome, awesome dessert coffee. And on a Friday night, when you know you don't have to wake up at any particular time, you can do dinner time caffeine. It's fine. If you're up till 1, you're up till 1. There's no work in the morning. So that's our organic French roast, 100% certified organic and shade grown. This is also fair trade certified. This is a great coffee you can feel great about. We've also got Chemex is available. We've got the Ascali scale. If you need a scale, this is an amazing scale. You can use this as a kitchen scale too. Weigh out your smoothies. If you like to bake, weigh out your bread, your flour, your pancakes, just about anything. I use the scale constantly. And it switches between grams or ounces. So you can do pounds and ounces, or you can do grams. It's a great scale. Very inexpensive too. It's on our website. And of course, grinding your coffee fresh makes all the difference. So check out the Encore by Baratza. This is a grinder that will last you 10 years. It really will. It's an amazing grinder, or more probably. It's an amazing grinder. I really love it. I recommend getting a little paintbrush and just brushing out the grounds, keeping everything nice and clean. I do this every once in a while, just give it a little brushing. Works really, really well. So yeah, hit me up if you've got any questions. We've got some exciting stuff coming up, some new concepts. Check out our Batdorf Boosters group. Check out the coupon on screen to save 10%. And we've also got another coupon in the Boosters group that's a special one-time use discount, but you have to use it this month. So if you're looking for that, go into the group. You can even click on the thing that says discounts in there and check that out, okay? Guys, thank you so much for joining. Thanks for hanging out. We'll see you next week. Talk to you later. Bye.